Nice, dude.
Hey everybody! So I am super bummed because I went to start the editing process for this video project and found out that none of the GoPro footage from in the cockpit recorded the audio. So apparently there was a connection missing and we didn't realize it, and so this super epic day ended up with 0 cockpit audio. So I also neglected to download all of Ryan's awesome drone footage that he got, so all I got were the couple clips that he shot over to my phone while we were there. And so I almost shelved the project because of those missing elements. And then I decided, you know what? I got some pretty cool footage and this was such an epic day. I gotta put something together. So bear with me on this one. Sorry if it's not as fully produced as most of my videos would otherwise be, but I appreciate you coming along. Enjoy the day because it was a good one. All right, let's go fly. So it's breezy up here. We decided to pass on Beetle Bar. There was a big white truck with a logo on it and somebody standing outside of the truck, so we didn't want to bother anybody with our presence. So we went a little farther upstream and found this really nice wide open one. Rocks get a little big on the north side, but they're nice and small and fantastic on the south side. So we touched down there and this is great. Check this out. What a day. Peter and Jeff are on the way. Just gotta let them know where to find us. Hey Jeff and Peter, you hear me okay? Hey Jeff and Peter, are you guys able to hear us? Okay, I heard them chatting back and forth. They can't hear us, but they're chatting back and forth. I heard that one of them's at least 12 minutes out. So I'm gonna reach them on the radio when they get a little closer. They'll figure out we're not where we originally planned to go. In the meantime, Ryan and I can at least make ourselves useful and clear the LZ of stuff like this. Peter is here with his beautiful new Legend Cub. We're hanging out, enjoying the beautiful view. It is breezy, and Jeff is on his way. The guys had some pretty nasty headwinds getting up here, but we lucked out. So I'm gonna walk down and capture Jeff's landing. So what you usually see with these rocky gravel bars is on the upstream end of the gravel bar, you'll get some bigger rocks. Bigger rocks such as this, versus on the downstream side, generally the rocks are a lot smaller because these bigger, heavier rocks get deposited first on the bar, whereas the smaller ones, smaller, lighter ones, get carried by the water a little farther and get deposited farther downstream. So as a general rule, you're gonna have bigger, larger rocks on the upstream side and smaller rocks on the downstream side. There are guys with more experience than I have that can probably will probably counter that, but that's just been my general observation. explore after eating some sandwiches. But it is breezy, which might limit some of our options today. But regardless, we're having fun. Clear. So I'm going to call this section of the video a tale of two landings. So same spot, two different approaches, two different lines. So this first landing you're going to see was a bit rough. They call this place Tabletop, and that's a bit of a sarcastic misnomer of a name because it is far from being as smooth as a tabletop. It is very lumpy. You'll see all kinds of lumps throughout, and I neglected to pay enough attention to my line the first approach and ended up going up and over a bunch of these lumps, and you'll see how that one panned out for me. And after that I made sure to pick a much better line, and the second landing attempt went much better. And I also carried a little more speed than I should have on these landings as well, mostly because I was really concerned about the gusty, breezy wind conditions, and you're literally approaching right over the edge of a cliff, and I was afraid of a heavy downdraft just prior to touchdown and impacting the side of a cliff. And so I wanted to make sure I carried a little extra speed to work with in case I had to power out of a sudden downdraft. And the other thing I did a little better on the second landing was kept a little more forward stick pressure, which allowed, as I went over each one of these lumps, to help keep it planted as I just kind of rode the waves of these lumps. So yeah, tale of two landings. Enjoy.
stop bouncing. So that ride that you guys took on that first one, that's why Chad and Jake, when they were filming me, they were laughing their ass off.
I was like, forget tabletop, I'm gonna call this moguls.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I think
hitting the moguls.
is the ironic name, because it's definitely anything but a tabletop.
Oh man, I paid a little more attention to my line on that last one.
And you know what you did?
You did a wheel land.
You did a wheel land. It looked like you did all your braking with your tail up.
Like, yeah, exactly.
And I'm sitting there thinking, God, why didn't I do that? Because I went for the ride, man.
Gotta check my shock monster travel here. Dude, not even halfway.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Oh man, this was great.
You made the decision after that last whoop-de-doo that I kind of feel like
whoop-de-doos.
I kind of feel like I should have made that same decision. But instead, you know what I did? I reverted back to student pilot. And hope for the best.
Yeah, no, I picked my line. That first time, my line was taking me right over the middle of the undulations, whereas this line was more on the low sides of the...
Yeah. But not being familiar, it's hard to know what the right line is.
We were like jumping those things.
You were. Not just bouncing. And you will see on the video evidence that I'm going to submit to you by, guys. The funny thing was the difference between the second and the first one was amazing.
Right.
Yeah. And it's all about, like you said, picking a line.
Yeah.
And it looked like you kept your tail way higher on the second one too, which looked like it worked out.
On that first one, well, on both of them, but short final, it was just.
I know.
And so I was a little high on that first one just to avoid any crazy downdraft.
Hey, dude, when I was out here in the summer, the downdraft you get right there just before, holy cow, you got it.
Oh, the lovely sounds of nature. So here's one right here that looks kind of shaped. Here's one.
This one, what's interesting about this is you can see where, I don't know what they were doing, but you have this part, and then you have this part that funnels
like
down like this.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then a deep one.
Oh yeah, that's a real deep one.
Yeah.
Wow. We're here enjoying the beautiful view and looking into our Native American archaeology here. Evidence of, I forget what they're called, but the holes that the Native Americans would dig to grind acorns with. Beautiful spot. Had one of my finer landings after one of my least fine landings, but hey, that's how it goes. This is wonderful, so much fun. So I'll show you the difference of lines here that I took, the first line versus the second line. So I didn't scout out or look far enough ahead on my first landing to find the optimal line as far as these mounds are concerned. And you can see I look like Marty McFly in Back to the Future. My tire treads just kind of disappear momentarily. So I believe this is my first line right into this first mound. So check this out. Yeah, right into that first mound and then all the mounds afterwards. Whereas my second line, I figured out I needed to aim for the darker spots rather than the lighter spots. And this line was much, much better. Hey, but I learned a lot at Tabletop today. This is fantastic.
Wow, dude.
Right?
That's sick. Wow.
It is, dude. Freaking love it.